Okay, we'll get started lying on our backs today. Begin to close your eyes. Begin to deepen your breath, whatever that means for you today. Could just be slowing down the inhales and the exhales. Maybe drawing more air, filling the belly as the diaphragm pushes down. If you're a visual person. Exhaling, releasing the belly, the diaphragm pushes up, all the air out of the lungs. Big inhale, fill the belly. Exhale out the mouth, release. A few more like that. Big inhale. Exhale out. One more deep inhale. Exhale out. Begin to find this breath on your own. Maybe cultivating that ujjayi breath, sealing the lips on the inhales and the exhales. Slight constriction in the back of the throat as you exhale. You might feel like you're fogging up a pane of glass with your nose if the pane of glass is right in front of you. As you breathe, start to contract your abdomen so you'll feel the low back press into the mat. This might cause you to not fill up your belly quite as much, but feel your tummy press away from your shirt. You'll feel the obliques start to light up just slightly. Notice this slight core engagement, even if we're not working the core. Notice what it feels like to just engage as you lay. It's a sensation we'll come back to throughout the class, but just begin to feel into that. Maybe playing around with those deep breaths and contracting the core. Take a few more breaths, and when you're ready, we'll meet in tabletop. However way you want to get there. If you want to roll onto one side in a fetal position and work your way around, or maybe rock and roll your way up if you're feeling energized already. Once you get to your tabletop, you can play your music if you have a playlist or using one of mine. If you're using one of mine, you can probably skip to that second song. Begin to stack your shoulders over your wrists, hips over knees. We'll do our cat-cows, dropping the belly on the inhale, lifting the gaze. Exhale, curve the spine, round through the belly, drop the head. Inhale, drop the belly, shoulder blades come together on the back. Exhale, shoulder blades draw away from each other, tuck in, belly draws away from the shirt. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, feel that core contraction. Inhale, drop the belly. Exhale, round. Let's do one more. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Come into a neutral tabletop. On the inhale, lift the right leg away from the mat. Toes are flexed. Hip is square towards the floor. We're going to drop the right foot over across the left. So it's going to come at a diagonal. Yeah, drop the toes to the ground. You can look over your left shoulder. Maybe lean into that. Stretch out that left hip. On an inhale, bring that right foot back up, right in line with the hip. Round down through the right hand, lift the left hand off the mat, spinal balance. Take an inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, long. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl in. One more. Reach out long on the in-breath. Exhale, round the spine, curl in. Inhale, out long. Exhale, knee drops, hand drops. Let's do one cat-cow here. Inhale. Exhale, round. Come to neutral table. Inhale, left leg lifts. Drop the left leg over to the right. Maybe look over that right shoulder. Nice little contraction through the obliques. You might feel that nice and good. On an inhale, lift the left leg, square off the hip towards the ground. Back foot is flexed. Ground down through that left hand. Inhale the right, up next to the ear. Take an in-breath. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, long. Exhale, round, just like your cat back. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Last one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, curl in. Inhale, out long. Exhale, limbs find the mat. Take a cow. Exhale, that cat pose. Back to neutral table. You're going to tuck your toes and lift your heels to hover just a few inches off the ground. I think they call this bear pose, but I'm actually not totally sure. Keep the breath strong as you're going to fire up the arms, the core, the legs a little bit here. Take one more full breath. Exhale, hips go high, downward facing dog. Spread wide through the fingertips on the mat. Really plant the knuckles into the ground. Roll the shoulder blades down the back as the hips go high towards the ceiling. On an exhale, lengthen the legs, heels draw towards the earth. Always option to bend your knee in this down dog here if that feels better. Might get more of a stretch through the back. On an inhale, tiptoe your feet up to meet your hands. Slide your hands up to your shins, flatten the back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. One more, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise up. High mountain. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Eyes will close. Maybe set an intention here for your practice that you want to focus on for the next 15 minutes. It could be challenging yourself physically. It could be giving more compassion to yourself, more self-love throughout this next hour. When you're ready, open your eyes. We'll inhale, high mountain, arms come high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to plank. Hold here. Set this up just like you did your tabletop position. Shoulders stack over wrists. Come high on the toes. Heels stack over toes this time. Draw belly, draws up and in. That same contraction like you're going to press your low back onto like if the mat was on your back. So nice flat back is what I'm trying to say. Inhale forward. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. On an inhale, baby cobra, just lift your head and your chest away from the mat. Really activating the mid to upper back. If you feel any tightness in your low back, separate your feet to the wide edges of your mat. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift, baby cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift one more time. Maybe your hands draw away from the earth. Inhale up. Exhale, lower down. Tuck the toes. Pull the kneecaps up into the sides, into the thighs, activating through the legs. Ground down through the hands, really press into the earth. On an inhale, lift up to plank, nice and slow. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna warm up the shoulders here just a little bit. So on an inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, go back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Stay here in this downward facing dog. Maybe pedal off the feet if you've done it before. We'll come into our sun A's. So inhale, lift the heels high. Bend the knees, look to the front of the mat. Jump, step, or hop, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, jump or step back. Lower, halfway or all the way. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, down dog. Take a breath here. Not anytime you can skip over those chaturangas. You can just take a push-up instead of going to up dog. You can just hold high plank. There's so many options. Take what you need today. On an inhale, lift the heels high. Bend the knees. Exhale, look to the top of the mat. Travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands plant. Step back lower, all on the out breath. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One breath here, in. Exhale it out. Inhale, heels come high. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the top, travel forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Fold back down. Halfway lift. Hands plant, jumper, step back lower. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good job. Inhale, heels come high. Exhale, bend the knees. Look to the top of the mat. Move feet to hands. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. On the inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, coming into our first chair pose. Really ground down through the feet here. You might pick up the toes and rest them down one at a time. Sinking into the hips. Take a look down. If you can't see your toes, shift your shins back in space just slightly. You might come out of your chair a little bit, but that's okay. Healthy knees are more important. Take one more inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plant the hands, jump or step back. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, the right leg high right away. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands. Ground down through the heel of the back foot, turning the foot 45 degrees. Inhale up, warrior one. Sink into that front knee. Hug that belly up and in. Last in breath. Exhale, hands plant, step back, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step in between the hands. Rise up, warrior one. Back heel turns flat. Sink in here. Take one more inhale. Exhale, hands plant, step back, lower, halfway. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Stay for a breath in your down dog. Find it if you lost it. Inhale, heels come high. Exhale, bend the knees, look to the top of the mat. Move feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair, bend the knees, sink the hips. One full breath here. Keep sinking. Reach up on the in-breath just a little higher. Exhale, hands plant, step back, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg goes high. Exhale, step in between the hands, lead with the heel. Inhale up, warrior one. Exhale, sink in. Last inhale here, lengthen out of the hips. Exhale, hands plant, step back, lower. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing. Left leg lifts right away on the in-breath. Exhale, footsteps in between the hands. Rise up, warrior one. Crescent lunge is always an option if warrior one just does not work. Take one more in-breath. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, lower. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing. One last round of sun bees. One breath, one movement. It'll be pretty quick, so take your own pace if mine is too fast. Inhale, heels come high. Exhale, bend the knees. Look to top of the mat. At the bottom of the exhale, jump forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, hands plant, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, plant the foot. Find your footing. Inhale, warrior one. Right back down, plant the hands, step back, lower. Inhale, up. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, plant the foot. Rise up, warrior one, in breath. Exhale, back down. Lower to any degree. Inhale, up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Woo. Let's take some cleansing breaths together. So empty out all the air you're on. Big inhale. Exhale out the mouth. One more, two more, inhale. Exhale out. Last one, big inhale. Exhale out. Inhale the right leg to the sky. On the exhale, bring the right knee to the right tricep. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee to right tricep. Inhale, up. Exhale, knee to right tricep. You got this. Inhale, up. Exhale, plant the foot in between the hands. On the in-breath, rise up, crescent lunge. Your left heel will stay high, hovered above the right. The left toes, arms come high. If your heel isn't stacked over your toe, maybe try to wiggle your foot out just a little bit. This will definitely intensify the lunge. But what else are we gonna do today? Take an in-breath. Exhale, reach forward. We're going to arrow lunge. Hug in the belly. It's going to rest just right over the thigh. Or hover, really. We're going to slowly reach so far forward that we just roll over those back toes. And then we're going to lift the back foot off the ground, coming into warrior three. Just feeling this out. We're not here for too long. Take an in-breath. Bend that right leg, coming back into crescent lunge. Exhale, open up warrior two. Settle in here. Really bending into that front knee. Shoulders stacked over hips. Gaze is nice and strong over that front middle finger. Take one more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, come into your side angle, whatever that looks like today. Maybe your bottom hand hovers, maybe it comes down. The forearm comes down to your thigh, or it can come down to the floor. On an inhale, come back to warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down to the mat. You're gonna be in a runner's lunge. Lift that right arm up to the ceiling for a twist. Feel the shoulder blade just draw onto the back, coming together. Round down through that left hand or coming into side plank. If you want to work with the variation of grabbing your big toe, grab your right peace fingers onto your right toe, roll onto the hip side of the left foot, lift that left foot. It's fun to try. If you have any wrist problems, just come down to your forearm for a side plank. We still got all the same things. Inhale, lift the hips a little higher. Exhale, hands plant lower halfway. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come high on the toes. Exhale, bend the knees, look forward, move forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Heel to the feet out, got hips width distance. On an inhale, we'll come into chair with our legs a little bit wider. Feel it here, sink into those hips. Track the knees over the middle toes. You'll feel your outer thighs working as well as your inner thighs as they kind of resist each other to get that nice alignment. We can create a lot of the sensations in the yoga practice. So the more you want to work, the more you want to feel, you have control of that. Fly the arms back on the exhale. Coming into power chair, the chest can drop just slightly. Really squeeze those arms in together, lighting up the triceps. On an inhale, you're gonna lift the heels off the ground. Arms are gonna come out right in front of you. Skier's pose. On an inhale, slowly stand up. Maybe the heels stay lifted. Exhale, come down. Heels drop. Take a big cleansing breath. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, fold forward. We'll come into crow pose from here. It's nice to have the butt lifted. It gives a better angle when you're coming into crow. If you want to do regular crow, or if you want to work on that side crow, options. So if you're coming into regular crow, plant the hands shoulder width distance. You're gonna bend at the knees. Really plant those knees into the upper arms, almost the armpits. Bend at the elbows like chaturanga arms. Lean forward, gaze is strong. Right outside in front of the mat. Maybe lift with one foot or both. Side crows, you can always come into a squat. Just reach over to your right and lean in, bending at the elbows. We'll be working another crow. So if you're in side crow, don't worry about getting to the other side right now. You want to play with both? Play with both. It's your time. We don't progress if we just keep doing the same thing. So try something new. All over. If you're in crow, try to shoot back into chaturanga. Inhale up. We'll all be in downward facing dog. Inhale the left leg high. Exhale, bring the knee to the left tricep. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee to tricep. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale up. Exhale, foot plants in between the hands. Soft step, lead with the heel. Inhale, rise, crescent lunge. Now sink into that front knee. That left hip is gonna draw back in space. That right hip is gonna draw forward just slightly, squaring the hips off. It's a nice subtle Settle feeling. On an inhale, reach forward, coming into that arrow lunge. Slowly begin to roll, reaching forward, rolling onto the toe edge side of the foot, and then slowly coming up to your warrior three. Nice and slow. Be kind to yourself if you fall out of it. Last inhale. Exhale, bend that left leg, lightly come back into your crescent lunge. Exhale, open up warrior two. Gaze is strong. They say wandering eyes, there's a wandering mind. Keep that focus to keep the present moment in your vision, I guess. That's how cheesy. On an inhale, come into your side angle. Maybe feel those shoulder blades stack again like they were in side plank. If you want to open through the front side of the body. On an inhale, come back up to warrior two. Cartwheel your arms down to the mat and spinning up on those back toes. Reach the left arm up to the ceiling. Twisted runner's lunge. Maybe drawing those shoulder blades, maybe taking the half bind, rotating the arm so the thumb draws down towards the floor, finding that hip crease. If you took that twist, come back to it. We'll come into our side plank, maybe taking that toe grab variation, lifting up the leg. Find any variation of the side plank that works for you today. Knee could be down, forearm could be down, leg could be lifted, all of the above. Keep breathing. Strong breath. Inhale, lift the hips a little bit higher. Exhale, your hand's gonna plant lower halfway. Inhale, back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat, heels come high. Exhale, bend the knees, travel forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, heel to the feet, hips with distance. On the inhale, bend the knees, sink the hips, chair pose. You've been here before, so make it the prettiest chair. Fly the arms back, power chair. Leaning the chest, really squeezing the hands like they're magnetized together. On the inhale, slowly begin to lift the heels, arms like they're moving through mud. Come out long in front of you. Skiers pose, hold this. I know the thighs are shaking, shaking, shaking. Inhale, lift up. Keep the heels high. Exhale, drop the heels, hands come heart center. Take a big breath in. Take a big breath out. Inhale, arms raised. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your crow. One more time. If you want to take crow, if you took it on the right side, take side crow on the left side. Again, your time to play around, feeling the sensation. If you're nervous about just putting weight in your hands, a good thing to practice is really spreading the fingertips wide. Dig the fingertips into the ground so they turn like slightly white. You'll notice that your the pads of your fingers come off the ground. Flatten those into the ground. So you'll feel your arms activate a little bit more than normal. And then squeeze your arms together like you're gonna crunch out the middle of your mat. This will turn your forearms on, and your biceps, and your triceps, and your upper back. That forearm strength is what's going to keep you upright whenever you're in any arm balance. So just playing around with that sensation. Take a few more breaths in whatever you're playing around with, and we'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, knee comes to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to nose. Last time. That was the last time. Inhale up. Exhale, step the foot in between the hands. Rise up, crescent lunge. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're going to lean forward, arrow lunge. Slowly, slowly, slowly rolling onto the top edge of the left toes. Just lift, lift, lift. So pretty, so graceful. If your arms are feeling tired, feel free to come to heart center or along behind you. Really try to roll that left hip down in space. Let's stay super, super flexed. We're holding this a little bit longer. Show up, show up. When you're ready, your hands are going to drop down to the mat, coming into a standing split. I find that name deceiving, maybe more of a standing L shape. Keeping those hips square to the earth. Keeping that back foot flexed. When you're ready, the left foot is going to come down to meet the right. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, high mountain. Exhale, bring the hands heart center. We'll switch off with that right leg to give it a break. Ground down through the left leg. We're going to kick the right leg up into the glute, keeping the knees pretty much in line with each other. We're going to raise the left arm up to the sky. Right hand is going to find the inside of the right foot. Really draw in that belly. Shoulders come down the back. We're going to slowly kick the foot into the hand and press the hand into the foot, coming into dancer pose. The goal is to keep the chest pretty lifted. It's easy to just like sag into it. Keep that chest lifted. Really feel that press is what gives you the lift. The press of your foot gives you the lift. Find that steady gaze. Maybe press into that foot and the hand presses into the foot just a little bit more. Slowly come back down. Whew. Maybe shake out that left leg. Well, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back lower. Halfway. Inhale, back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, the left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, round the spine. Inhale, back up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up, last one. Bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, up. Exhale, left foot plants in between the hands. Rise up, crescent lunge. We're sinking through that front knee, high up on the toes. Hands are super, super active. You can't see mine, but super, super active. Really firing up all parts of the arm. Inhale, lean forward. Arrow lunge. You've been here before multiple times, so see how slow you can do this. How much control you can have. Just leaning forward, rolling onto those toes, and slowly picking up your leg into your warrior three. I know that left leg is on fire. Stoke that fire. Let it feel good. Let that burn feel like actual good change happening in your body instead of hating me for it. When you're ready, your hands are going to find the earth. Coming into standing split or standing L. Balance challenge, maybe grab one hand to the ankle and then the opposite hand to the ankle. Fall out of it. When you're ready, right foot is going to find the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Dancer pose now on the opposite side. Ground down through that right foot. Kick the left foot into the glute. Knees stay together. Inhale, right arm up. Left arm grabs the inside, the arch of that left foot. Really kick that foot into the hand. Press the hand into the foot. Coming in to dancer pose. This pose really does just change day to day. So meet yourself where you are. Just take one more full breath. Longest, fullest breath you've done all day. And on an exhale, release everything down to the mat. Arms come high, maybe a little back bend. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back. Just step back right to downward facing dog. We got some requests last week to do some handstand-ish type of stuff. So walk your feet up a few steps, maybe about halfway. Not quite though, just a few steps. We're really gonna cue that same cue I did for crow. Really digging the fingertips into the ground. Pads of the fingers press into the earth, so all of the hand is really pressing in. Forearms light up. And then we're just gonna do some donkey kicks at your pace, whatever you want. So bend the knees, just kick your butt. Maybe you get hang time. Maybe it's more like this. If you're like, nah, just lean forward so your shoulders stack over your wrists and just practice picking up one foot at a time. That'll be like, that's like crazy handstand practice without like too much effort. So yeah, just play around with these donkey kicks. Maybe you get hang time, maybe you don't. Doesn't matter, it's just trying something different than what we do all day. Okay, take a few more rounds, maybe like 2 or 3. We'll meet back in downward facing dog. Inhale the right leg high. Exhale, bring the knee to the left tricep. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale up. Exhale, knee to left tricep. Inhale up. Exhale, foot plants. Rise up, crescent lunge. Don't worry, we're just going to open up warrior two. On an inhale, flip the front palm, reach forward. Exhale, reverse your warrior. Come back to warrior two, arms. Straighten the front leg. Coming into triangle, reach forward. Drop the arm. If you're not done working yet, but I challenge you to not put weight into that bottom hand. Flip that palm out in front of you. Rest on top of the hand on the leg. You're really gonna fire up your oblique, keeping yourself upright. Maybe lift just a little bit. When you're ready, bend that front knee, come back to warrior two. Just curl the hands down. Step back lower if you want it. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg high. Last side of standing poses. Exhale, bring the knee to the right tricep. Inhale up. Exhale across. Inhale up. Exhale across one more time. Inhale up. Exhale, step the foot. Rise up, crescent lunge. Just here for a breath. Take one more inhale. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Keep sinking that front, through that front knee. Don't give it up yet. Last little push, challenge yourself here. On an inhale, reach forward, flip the front palm, reverse your warrior, up and back. Hand can come down the side of that right leg, or it can wrap around the back, whichever feels good. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Straighten through the front leg, reach forward, coming into triangle pose on the left side. Maybe again you feel those shoulder blades drawing together on your back. Or flipping that palm forward, really feeling the contraction again through the abdominals. And when you're ready, come back to warrior two. Cartwheel the arms down. Step back, lower, last chaturanga. Inhale up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward to plank. Exhale, slowly lower all the way down to the ground. I was gonna make you do push-ups, but I'm not. You're welcome. So we're gonna come into a variation of locust. So first, draw your hands long by your body. On an inhale, we're gonna keep our chin down, but lift only our legs. So inhale, lift. Feel all the muscles working in the glutes, back of the legs, maybe even the low back. One more inhale. Exhale, lower everything down to the ground. Now we're gonna do the opposite. We're gonna lift only the chest. On an inhale, lift everything up. Really feel the shoelace side of the feet press into the floor. Let the work come from the upper to mid back. Take one last inhale. Exhale, lower. Last locust, we're gonna put those two parts together, coming into a full locust on the inhale. Lifting legs, arms, chest, head away from the mat. Take one more inhale, lift just a little bit higher, maybe just a millimeter. Exhale, lower. Maybe windshield wiper the feet. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, lift up to plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna come into a seat, so you can walk your feet up, or you can jump through, coming into boat pose. Hold here. Really proud through the chest, expanding the collarbones out. Options to straighten the legs. Maybe arms come above the head if you really want to get after it. Keep holding, keep breathing. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower, low boat. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lower. You know these are my favorite. Inhale up. Exhale, lower. Inhale up. Keep going. You got this. Just 3 more. 2 more. Last one. When you get to low boat, hold, hold, hold. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release all the way down to the ground. Maybe take a long body stretch. Whew. Bring your knees into your chest. We're gonna rock and roll along the length of our spine. Yeah, rock and roll. We're gonna all meet in a tabletop position. So if you wanna just cross your legs, roll on top of the knees. We're just gonna start slowing down a little bit here. So take a few cat-cows. Be mindful of all that core work, not to shock the system too much. So maybe these aren't as deep or dramatic. When you're ready, come back to a neutral tabletop. Ground down to that left hand. We're gonna reach the right arm high towards the ceiling. And on an exhale, we're gonna thread that right hand right underneath the armpit, resting down onto the right arm, the right shoulder, the right head, the right side of the head. Oh my gosh. If you feel good here, stay here. Option to walk that left hand out to the top of the mat, or reach that left arm around, creating a bind, maybe grabbing for your thigh. Balance challenge to lift that left leg. But, oh yeah, these guys got it. Just play around with feeling that stretch through that right shoulder. If your leg is lifted, bring it back down to the earth. Press into that left hand onto the ground if it's not there. Reach that right arm up, stretch it back up. Exhale, right hand finds the mat. We'll switch it out right away. Left arm comes up towards the sky. Exhale, thread the needle. This pose is actually called thread the needle. So thread it right underneath the armpit. Left ear drops towards the mat. Right arm can walk out in front. Create a nice stretch through the side body from the hip. Or if you're not sure what that bind was that we did on the right side, you're going to turn your thumb towards the back of the room. So your forearm faces the right side of the room, and then drop it right to the outside of that left hip. And then you can grab for the thigh. If that leg is lifted, bring it back to earth. If your hand is in the bind, bring the right hand back down. Press into that right hand, lift the left arm up towards the ceiling. Exhale, bring it back down. We're just gonna sit down onto our butt. Any way you wanna get there. Straighten the legs out all the way in front of you. We'll just come into a forward fold. Inhale the arms high above the head. Exhale, slowly lower. I've mentioned it before, but find whatever fold works for you. That means a lot of rounding through the back to really stretch out those back muscles. I don't know if you're sitting at a computer all day, or even if you're just on your feet. Things can get tight in there. Option to really flatten out the spine like you're in a halfway lift to get more to the backs of the legs and the hamstrings. Let your thoughts slow down. Maybe even let your breath slow down with it. Not holding on to anything too tightly. Muscles included. When you're ready, slowly roll up. We're gonna come onto our back, so maybe just slide your hips just down your mat just slightly. And slowly, one vertebra at a time, roll onto your back. We'll come into figure 4. So left foot is gonna find the earth. Your right foot is gonna find the meaty part of the left thigh. If you'd rather take half pigeon, feel free to do so. We're gonna go into another pose exactly from this position. So just have to come back here in a minute. Option to lift that left leg, maybe grab for the back of the left thigh, bringing that right leg a little closer. Just feeling sensation. If there's any pain in the knee joint of that right leg, back out of it. What the sensation through the meaty part of the muscle, nothing near the joints too much. When you're ready, we're going to come into a supine twist, but keeping this figure four, we're just going to drop the legs over to the left. If it feels comfortable, your right foot is going to plant onto the earth, still keeping contact with that left knee. Might create a different sensation down through the side of the thigh, the hip. If you hate this, just come to a supine twist, bringing that right knee on top of the left. Arms can come out to a T or bull pose. When you're ready, bring everything slowly back to center. We'll just switch those out. Planting the right foot, bring the left foot onto the meaty part of the right thigh. Maybe knee draws out towards the front of the room just slightly. If you're not feeling anything, bring that right knee into the chest. When you're ready, drop that left foot over to the right side of the room. Left foot plants. The side of the right leg is going to be flat onto the earth. When you're ready, come back up. Release that left leg down to the earth. Come into any last pose that you want for the evening. Could be happy baby. Could be shoulder stand. You want to leave this class a little more energized, maybe come into a wheel pose or any sort of bridge or back bend. If you're in shoulder stand, maybe dropping your legs over your head. Feet come to touch to the floor for plow pose. And plow, if you want to bend at the knees, come in the knees next to the ears for death dance pose, feel free to do that. In any position you're in, we'll slowly make our way down to our backs, limbs long. We'll come into our final resting pose, which any way that looks for you. If it is lying on your back, limbs long, maybe you're in Supta Baddha Konasana, knees apart, feet together. Legs could be up a wall if you have one nearby. and always option to take a seat as in a meditation. I read from this book. I'll show you guys it after every so often, and I read it today's entry and I liked it, so I'll read it to you guys here. We waste so much energy trying to cover up who we are, when beneath every attitude is the want to be loved, and beneath every anger is a wounded to be healed, and beneath every sadness is the fear that there will not be enough time. When we hesitate in being direct, we unknowingly slip something on, some added layer of protection that keeps us from feeling the world, and often that thin covering is the beginning of a loneliness, which if not put down, diminishes our chances for joy. It's like wearing gloves every time we touch something, and then, forgetting we chose to put them on, we complain that nothing feels quite right. In this way, our challenge each day is to not get dressed to face the world, but to unglove ourselves so that the doorknob feels cold, and the car handle feels wet, and the kiss goodbye feels like the lips of another being soft and unrepeatable. As you breathe here, let each breath undress your being of attitude, of mood, of history. As you breathe, feel your skin beneath your clothes. As you breathe, feel your being just beneath your skin. Slowly begin to notice the sensations in the room, smells, sounds. Take a big inhale, filling up the belly. Exhaling out the mouth. Begin to move. Maybe bring wiggles into the toes, into the fingers, rolling out the wrists or the ankles and the ankles. Maybe working your way up to the knees and elbows, hips and shoulders. Taking a nice big long body stretch on your mat. We'll come up to a seat in any way that you want, in fetal position or just rolling up. Coming cross-legged, close your eyes. Rest your hands on your knees or at heart center. Be so proud of yourself for showing up, doing the hard work. Thank you guys so much for letting me lead you today. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. Thanks, guys.